Stoic masculinity in a very, very chaotic world. Why stillness has become a superpower for men in this current paradigm in 2025. The world that we're living in is in absolute disarray, but that's all by design. And today I want to talk about the power of stillness and how some of the greats in our world in the past have taught us the path through this chaos. Now, as we get distracted, whether it's a financial system, World War III, the pandemic, as a man, it is your responsibility and your job to be the calmness in the storm for your family. Some of the people I think of is Miyamoto Musashi, the author of The Five Rings, the undefeated samurai swordsman. You have Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, amazing human beings that gave us direct examples. Another example is Jesus Christ, Christ Jesus, Yeshua. A man is designed to be stoic, but the key to this is how do you get to stoicism? How do you get to calmness? And how do you get to the middle ground and being the safety within the storm? It's getting your shit together. You are the reason why your family is reacting the way that's reacting. If something happens within your family, say you're at a restaurant and absolute chaos breaks out, your family is looking to you to be the calmness in the storm. And how do you get to that point? Well, the problem with our society is what they've done is with convenience, they've ripped the purpose out of men and they've ripped the fight out of us and they've ripped the ability to suffer with purpose before it's necessary to suffer. So some examples and steps that you can do is number one, I just said it, suffer with purpose before it's necessary to suffer. So some examples that I do within my current paradigm in my life is getting access to cold water every single morning. I have an ice bath in my garage. Within the first 15 minutes, I'm getting access to 37-degree water, shocking my system. Now, the great thing about that, if you look at Dr. Huberman, he talks about this. We think that the applause comes from the edification we get in social media, the likes and comments, and people clapping for us. That's not true. The true edification comes from you doing the things you need to do when nobody's actually watching. That's just one example. Then from there, I head to the gym to work with my trainer and I give him full permission to kick the living shit out of me. So within the first 15 minutes, I'm getting access to cold water. I'm overcoming my own not wanting to get into the ice bath. So my brain is clapping for me. My neuroplasticity is increasing. And within the first hour, I'm working with my trainer with full permission to take me to war. So now twice in the morning, in the first hour, I've already put myself in a position where I've suffered a purpose before it's necessary to suffer. Now, as I go throughout my day, I'm working to, instead of listening to things that completely rot my brain, I'm listening to things like Miyamoto Musashi, The Five Rings, okay? Other things like Jesus Christ and understanding his teachings, constantly listening to things that move myself forward in my mind. And one of the biggest things too is I make sure that I'm extremely effective at my job and fulfilling my purpose. That's very important. So, men, stillness comes from practice. Stillness comes from suffering with purpose before it's necessary to suffer. Meditation, clearing your mind, right? Taking yourself into a quiet place and sitting and being bored. How many of you listening to this video have spent any time being bored lately? That's where you meet God. That's where you battle your thoughts. And the thing to understand around our thoughts, and a lot of men don't understand this, is our thoughts, our mind is the feminine within us. All of us have feminine and masculine within us. And your mind is very fleeting. Your mind moves very, very quickly. Okay. So if you are a victim and controlled by your mind and your thoughts, you are going to be like a leaf in the wind. But a man who is stoic, a man who operates in stillness, and a man who understands his purpose is operating from a higher source and a higher power, which I call God and walking with Jesus Christ. So let me explain that. So if you're at the mercy of your thoughts that are running nonstop, okay, you can't control your thoughts. You can't control your mind. You can't control your lust. You're not suffering with purpose before it's necessary to suffer. When shit hits the fan, how are you going to react? So that's what I mean. It's not about becoming some bodybuilder and being in phenomenal shape like a fitness model. It's being physical enough to be able to protect your family. It's suffering in darkness before it's necessary to suffer when things hit the fan within your current ecosystem with your family. And it's understanding that you are the center. You are the calmness. You are the person that brings your family back to the middle ground when the storm hits. So the interesting thing about this is there's no competition anymore. Most men wake up, slam an energy drink, jump into their car. They listen to things that lower their vibration, the music they're listening to. They watch pornography. They're masturbating. They get to work. They're flirting with women at work. They're bitching at the water cooler. They're putting in half-ass effort at work. They go home and they watch their favorite baseball team or football team, and they don't even serve their family. So there's no competition anymore. So if you start to suffer with purpose before it's necessary to suffer, you put yourself in situations that allows your body to understand how far you can push yourself. That's where the stillness, that's where the calmness of mind comes in. It's not just sitting on a mountaintop meditating. It's putting yourself in situations that your body is stressed. Then you are ready for the chaos when it comes. So men, we need to get back to the middle ground. We need to get back to purpose. We need to get back to suffering with purpose before it's necessary to suffer. Because at some point, the storm will come. And the question is, will you be ready? As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.